What's up, everybody, and welcome to The Sauce. I'm Salty Zero, and today we're going to take a quick look at the Spring 2022 anime lineup. This season is packed full of great series, so I've taken a look at what's coming up and picked out my top 10. First up, we've got Spy Family, originating from a manga by Tatsuya Endo. The anime adaptation is a collaboration between Wit Studio and Cloverworks. Of everything coming out this season, this is probably the one that's been the most hyped up, and for good reason. The story follows Twilight, master spy from the country of Westalius, as he attempts to put together a makeshift family as a cover for his latest mission. To pull this off, he adopts 5-year-old Anya to play the part of his daughter, who, unbeknownst to him, is actually a psychic who's escaped from a government research facility. He then falls into a sham marriage with civil servant Yor, who's actually an assassin searching for a cover of her own. Together, the one-of-a-kind trio attempts to find the balance between high-stakes espionage and family life. Spies, yes please. Assassin waifus, also yes. Cute telepathic daughter, well, you had me at spies, but yeah, let's go. If the pedigree from Studio Wit and Cloverworks wasn't enough, the manga has already racked up a substantial following, and this one looks like it might be a solid runner for this season's best show. If you like action comedies and bangin' animation, Spy Family has got you covered. Up next, coming out of A1 Pictures, we have the second core of mecha action drama 86. If you haven't caught the first 23 episodes, here's a quick spoiler-free rundown. The Republic of San Magnolia is a futuristic utopian paradise, but outside of its borders, a battle has raged on against the robotic legions of the Empire of Giad for the past 9 years. And though the public believes that this war is fought completely between machines, the truth is that the San Magnolian mechs are actually piloted by a persecuted group of second-class citizens who reside in an internment camp known as the 86th District. The story follows Lena Melise, an officer who orchestrates her mech group's movements from the security of a remote operating base while her subordinates fight for their lives on the battlefield. Unlike most handlers, she knows the country's secrets and struggles with the morality of her position and the plight of those she commands. The first half was a mix of explosive mech warfare and deep character-driven drama, paired with some equally impressive animation. And it seems like we can expect much more in the second part. This one's definitely on the more serious side, but also definitely worth the time if you're looking for something a little bit more substantial than a 12-episode run. Next, on a lighter note, and back for its third season, we have Kaguya-sama Love is War Ultra Romantic. Comedy, romance, multiple best girls, what's not to like? Having already proven itself through the first 2 highly acclaimed seasons, A1 Studios once again brings us the manga series by Aka Akasaka as we rejoin the students of the prestigious Shuchin Academy, where Student Council President Miyuki Shiragane and Vice President Kaguya Shinomiya battle it out in a no-holds-barred contest to gain the upper hand in their hilariously awkward and incredibly wholesome courtship. Along with a great cast of well-developed supporting characters, this series delivers generous helpings of romantic comedy, along with occasional deeper delves into the more complicated matters of the heart. If you're looking for something funny and cute, this might just be it. Up next may be the series I know the least about, and I'm most curious about cracking the lid on. The visuals and preview for Aharon Sen wa Hakarenai, or Aharon is Indecipherable, by Asato Mizu bring many questions to mind. Who is this tiny girl? Who is this stoic man carrying her? And just how awkward can a quiet Dandere make simple everyday situations in this high school slice of life? These questions and many more will be answered when the series produced by Felix Film Studios, the same studio that brought us the anime adaptations of Nekopara and Other Side Picnic, airs this season. Nekopara? Okay, now I don't know what to expect, and I'm slightly afraid. The story follows high school students Reina Aharen and Reido Matsuboshi as an eraser-related twist of fate brings the odd pair together. Reina, who is terrible at reading social cues, and Reido, who is somewhat intimidating, make for an interesting match as they navigate the everyday perils of high school life. Also returning this spring, we have Ascendance of a Bookworm. The light novel by Mia Kazuki is back for its third season if you're looking for a healthy dose of isekai business management with a bit of fantasy thrown in. For those who aren't on board yet, the story follows Mine, who has been reincarnated into a world full of magic but lacking most modern conveniences. Having found her sole joy in her past life in reading books, she begins her hunt for the written word in a world where books are a rarity. Armed with an in-depth knowledge of 20th century technology, she slowly but surely begins to shape the world to her own design as she introduces the wonders of modern science and industry to an Iron Age society for fun and profit. If you like isekai, educational programming, and an art style that lets you know who's washing their hair regularly, you're gonna love this. Next up, everyone's favorite kudere, Komi-san, is back for a second season. Based on the manga by Tomohito Oda and produced by OLM Studio, the long-awaited and often begged for anime adaptation saw an incredibly well-executed Season 1 last October. For those new to the series, Komi Can't Communicate follows the story of Komi Shoku, an incredibly popular and also incredibly reserved high school student. The entire student body essentially worships her, believing that her stoic silence is an aspect of her high social standing, but little do they know that in actuality, she's just terrible at communicating. Her secret is discovered by classmate Tadano Hirohito, and the two quickly form a friendship which blossoms around the goal of helping Komi gain 100 friends. If you're looking for a cute slice of life with an incredibly colorful cast of characters, you're gonna love Komi-san. Everybody else does. This next one, I have really no idea what to expect, but it kinda looks hilarious, and I'm hoping it's heavy on the comedy and lighter on the bathing old guys. Based on the manga by Mari Yamazaki and adapted by Naz Studio, Thermae Rome Nove is a time-traveling bathhouse isekai. Lucius is an architect from ancient Rome, and while searching for inspiration to build a bathhouse for a prestigious client, is swept away to modern Japan where he discovers the world of Japanese bathing culture. Captivated and intrigued, he learns from a variety of different bathing-related experiences, and makes good use of his newfound wisdom back in his own time. This looks pretty funny, and it's always interesting to watch a series which sheds light on some of the lesser-known aspects of Japanese culture. So here's hoping for the best, though from the previews I am prepared for a certain amount of wrinkly old dudes. Next on the list, Studio Doga Kobo brings us Shikamori is Not Just a Cutie. Based on the manga by Keigo Maki, on the surface this seems like a pretty basic high school romance slice of life about average student Izumi and his cute counterpart Shikamori, with one major exception. Shikamori is not just a cutie, and Izumi isn't quite normal either. Cursed with incredibly bad luck, his days are a continuous stream of small disasters, but luckily for him, his girlfriend Shikamori is not just cute, she's also incredibly cool. Follow the couple as they traverse life's daily challenges and watch in awe as Izumi's constant fumbles are heroically thwarted by Shikamori's unstoppable coolness. This next one is a half and half for me. Half of me wanted to pass on it, but the other half of me wants to see more Raphtalia. But before you get out the pitchforks, let me explain myself. Season 1 of Rising of the Shield Hero started out great. Your basic video game isekai, but with the incredibly interesting twist that the main protagonist, Naofumi, is basically hated on and betrayed by everyone in his newfound world for essentially no reason. Forced to make a go of it on his own, he rises to the challenge and takes on all comers to make the best out of a terrible situation, forging his own way, essentially on sheer spite. This was the part I really enjoyed. However, the second half of the series quickly became heavy with generic action scenes, unnecessary fan service, and a heavy amount of gratuitous revenge plotlines. However, having watched the entirety of the first season, and having a great respect for certain cute and endearing raccoon girl, I'm gonna give this one another shot, and hope that we get more of the interesting plotlines and less of the random battles on flying magic ships. Finally this season, for my light watching pick, I always like to have one show that I'm pretty sure I won't have to think much about, and this spring I'm hoping it will be Daimon. From Encourage Films and adapted from the manga by Rin Asano, this is the story of Nagomu Arino, the prodigal son of a Kyoto wagashi owner who returns home after following his dreams and moving to Tokyo for a decade. He comes back to take over his family's traditional Japanese sweets or wagashi shop, only to be challenged by his father's apprentice, who also happens to be his cute childhood friend, for control of the business. The animation looks great, this seems like a pretty relaxed plotline, and I'm definitely interested in learning about delicious Japanese confections. Well, that's it for this episode. There's a ton of great anime out there this season, and only time will tell what will make the cut and what will fall off. So here's to another great season. Thanks for watching, and remember, you gotta make time for anime.